All right, so this is the second video on the same topic, and by God's grace, I can phrase things a little bit differently, so it doesn't sound like you're watching the same video just twice, and so on. But your boy, the man, Angel to the City, always here for great advice and so on. So here's the thing: when it comes to guys like Chris Doyle, and when it comes to him being hired and then him resigning because of the bad press, I again want everybody to understand. We all make mistakes, no matter how old you are. We are all sinners, and we're all broken, and we all fall short of God's grace. And I think a lot of people seem to once again keep on forgetting that. I promise to God, I don't know whether it's down to earth or whether it's spiritual, but a lot of people seem to forget that. I'm lost, you're lost. You're fallen, I'm fallen. You're broken, I'm broken. Jesus saves. And people seem to keep forgetting that when it comes to the fact being you're not better than anybody. You're not. I don't know whether you want to put that on down to earth spectrum or spiritual spectrum, but you need to understand you need repentance and redemption like I do. And I think if you can understand that more than not, I do believe 110%, you wouldn't have a problem with, Chris Doyle's hire and so on. But I think so many people have problems with Chris Doyle's hire because they just can't seem to get over the past. They really cannot. I think that's why they can't seem to get over the past. And I hate to say it, but a lot of people live in racial bubbles where that's all they see, that's all they want to know, and that's what they believe. Just race is everywhere for them. Because I've been very unapologetically with this with various people in my family for quite some time. Race is not in everything. Race is not everywhere. Now, race is definitely, still rearing its ugly head in, lots of our society, but it's not everywhere you look. If it's everywhere you look, then that means you're living in a bubble. That means you're seeing what you want to see. That means you are, dare I even say, prejudging everything and everybody, and you like it. That's your problem. You're corrupt. You need to change. You need to get saved, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, like I say, I'm not Bill Nye, the science guy. I don't know everything, but I know, I know things when I see things, and I believe in things when I feel things. And a big part of what that is, I'm telling you, I think a lot of people, whether you call it the national media, the sports media, whatever, a lot of people, they definitely live in their bubbles and they just don't get it. They just don't get it. A lot of people in our world in general, let alone everyday people, ain't racist. Majority of, I would definitely say a good 7 out of 10, if not more, of everyday people walking around, they're not racist in any bit, whether it's, whether it's, in their heart, their mind, they're not, in their soul, they're really not racist. I think it's a good 7 out of 10. And, in most populations, they're not racist whatsoever. They are not. I think it really is a matter of when you start getting to the corporate stratospheres, in terms of really everything, whether it's a regular business, whether it's politics, it's government, you name it. Then you start getting to some of the upper echelons of of some of the deep race theory that is still hurting our world and so on. If you were the person ask me, that's not to say you don't have some everyday people that are very, that still got some racism in them. But I do believe those everyday people are very few and far between. I do not believe that they are out there everywhere amongst society. I think most people, and I think it really is like most people got common sense, they got a conscience, and most people, even if they don't believe in God, they're just genuine, okay people. And you shouldn't keep judging them by the sins of somebody else, let alone the sins of somebody else in their race. And I can assure you again, if you haven't read the Bible yet, I can assure you that's a sin to keep doing that. That is a sin. But I do think a lot of people, that's why they don't go to church and they don't try to read the Bible, or they don't try to go to counseling, because they know that they do and they divulge all this garbage to anybody, they know that they'll probably be told the exact same thing I'm telling you right now. So it's just easier to stay in a bubble and pretend to be right. It's easier to stay in a bubble and pretend to be saved when the Bible directly tells you that you're going to hell, and so on. People gotta understand. Again, I don't pull this crap out of my, backside, or, pull this crap out of thin air. I pull this crap out of the Bible, and I pull it out of common sense, if you were the person to ask me, let alone my own logic and my own reasoning. And as I definitely dare I say would put it to a sports perspective, the Jaguars have been one of the sorriest franchises literally in the last decade. They have no contention, if you were to ask me, or speculation, or whatever the word I could put there, to be choosy on who their strength and conditioning coach is. They don't. The Jaguars need every bit of help they can get from literally every side of the aisle. They need to sell tickets. Okay? They need to get some real revenue going. The Jaguars need to be the hottest show, if not one of the top hottest shows, not just in sports, but you could even say just in sports, entertainment, media. I mean, whatever avenue just everywhere. They need to be one of the hottest shows around. Because I say that's one of the only ways we're gonna get our Lot J done. Because I really, really want Lot J, but obviously I'll have to wait a couple more years to get that. But not only Lot J, but we need a new stadium. So we need all the help we can get. We need to sell tickets. And especially if our fan base had no freaking problem with Chris Doyle, why the freak does everyone else give a freak? Huh? If you were to ask me. We're Jacksonville. We got our own problems. We need to sell tickets. We need a winning franchise. We need a winning product on that field. Okay? And again, no one has to agree with it, because I'm not saying that everybody out there, who doesn't live here, or everybody who's not a fan of this team shouldn't have an opinion. No, have an opinion. But just understand where to place that opinion, how much value to put towards that opinion, and dare I say whether or not that opinion will make a difference once it's out there in the atmosphere, and so on. Because I have opinions about a lot of things that I know nobody will ever listen to. Dare I say, God is my judge and witness. But one of the top things, most importantly, we have to understand, especially for my team, the Jaguars, my hometown team, is we need God first, all the help we can get. And you cannot keep judging everybody off the sin of the next, let alone in terms of Chris Doyle's case. You cannot judge his entire record off the rap sheet of Iowa. You can't. Now God bless those players and how they feel and what they heard, but we can't judge you cannot completely judge his hire off of all of that. People still deserve second chances to redeem themselves and show that wasn't me. Even if I did say that, that wasn't me. That was whatever it was, but it wasn't me. People need redemption, they need chances, they need hope. And then if you were to put the black card in there or the race card in there and say, well, that was a black guy, he wouldn't have got that second chance, you a darn lie. He would have gotten it, it just depends on where he would have gotten it at. Okay? Stop with the race card, stop with the race baiting, stop with the black and white, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, Jesus, who am I and who do you want me to be? Where do I need to be to serve your kingdom greater, better, more fluent, etc.? Because not every bleeping thing is about race in society in America. It's not. Get over your freaking self, let alone just get over yourself. If you get over yourself, you will be able to find yourself, because God has bigger plans for you than race, okay? And I am just trying to, God first, spit as fluently as I possibly can on this, stuff, okay? Because definitely with the race car, I hate race baiting. I hate it with a burning passion, because I don't live for the color of my skin. I live for God. I live for Jesus. I live for my place in his kingdom, and the work that I do every day to advance it. That's what I live for. You should start living for it too, because if you do, you won't care about race as much as what you do now, etc. So, and back to the race car thing about it. Yeah, if that was a black man, he still would have gotten another job. It just depends on where, when, and working for who. But he would have got another job, especially in terms of the network of connections, as they call it, having connections. If the black guy had friends here and there, or anybody just in general wanted to look at his profile and be like, okay, let me possibly, again, give the guy a running rule interview and see where it goes from there. He still would have got another job. It just all depends on who would have hired him, when he would have gotten it, and where, let alone doing what. That's all it depends on, okay? Stop it with this garbage race baiting nonsense. It doesn't make you look cool. It don't make you look cute. It ain't sassy. It's just trash, garbage, and just utterly pathetic. Okay? And now, this is not me telling you that race doesn't exist, because it obviously does. But racism itself is not breathing everywhere you look. It's not. Okay? The mentality you should have is God and Jesus are alive everywhere you look. That's the mentality you should have. Once you have that mentality, trust me, you will see the demons fly away and you will see your eyes open wide for who God is and the plan He has for you in this world so you can, glorify and gratify the kingdom. And a bunch of other stuff I can name. You get the point. And so with that being said, like I said, God bless Chris Doyle. I think absolutely I've definitely said majority of what I wanted to say, and if I have anything else to say, I'll go and just keep on saying it now. The sports media is absolutely just like the national media in so many cases. They're woke. They're woke. They are so negatively woke. I mean, goodness gracious, they are so negative. Even people there's some people employed by, particularly ESPN, people that are employed by them that I used to like, I used to be a fan of. And then when I started hearing their politics, I'm like, oh my, really? This is why they absolutely tell you to keep politics out of sports because, God's my judge of winners, whichever way you want to weigh this. I liked you before I heard your politics. Or better yet, I still like you, but I can't stand your politics. And your politics make me kind of weigh on how much I like you anymore, how much I should be a fan of you anymore, and so on. Because I'm pretty sure and I'm not saying, and people, a lot of people obviously they've had their, they've had their grit, had their grind, had their work, had their connections, had their. Everybody has a background. From what I'm saying, everybody has a background. But I'm just saying, come on, stop it with the trash woke garbage. Please just stop it. I want to like you so bad. Please stop it with the trash woke garbage. And so on. I want to get back to liking you and or respecting you as much as I did before I knew you had a bunch of trash woke politics that I don't agree with because they just don't make any sense, etc. And ESPN employs quite a few of those that I'm like, where are you getting this crap from? Where? And so on. And absolutely, and that's one of the top reasons why CBS Sports Network has advertised themselves as, yelling, no politics, no fake debates. You want on Sports Network that just keeps it straight to the sports, come here, and so on. And when it comes to the debates part, the screaming, yelling, yada yada. I mean, some of that again needs to be there because it shows a level of passion. It shows a level of, dare I even say, integrity. Some of it needs to be there, but make sure it's there, though. It's there the right way for the right reasons, expressing the right thoughts and opinions. Because again, we're humans. We all get angry. We all get rowdy. We all get, we all get in our moods. We all get in, especially let alone just passion. It's good to bleed and breed passion. And it is. But again, just make sure it's dedicated towards the right things, the right causes, the right principles, the right techniques, the right characters, the right morals, so you don't be misunderstood, misinterpreted, and so on. And so on. So with that being said, I think I've definitely spat majority of what I wanted to say, and God bless every other YouTuber out there that is making it, whether it's through giving sports analysis, giving regular pop culture news analysis, regular political analysis, whatever you're doing. God bless your souls, and I just hope that regardless which side of the aisle you're on, I just hope to God we can absolutely find better ways to have a clean, open dialogue, work together, and just live abundantly in Christ, because that's what we need at the end of the day. We need to all find some middle ground to find some middle ground in Jesus' name, so we can live abundantly, in His grace, and learn and better ourselves through His mercy. So I got more coming soon. It's always your boy, the man, NJ, to the city with the number 22. And like I said, I'm that type of guy where I will meet anybody. I will meet everybody. And I'll give you a piece of my mind, let alone meet anybody, everybody. And we'll just have those open dialogue conversations. I'll vet you myself, like Urban Meyer said he did with Chris Doyle. And we'll just go from there. We will let you breathe, give you this opportunity for change and healing, and so on and so on. And just let the chips fall where they may fall in God's hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I will end this video off by saying, where is your faith at? If whether you critique the move or not with Chris Doyle, where is your faith at? Where is your faith at? And by the way, not everything is about black and white race, okay? It's not. Because trust me, if you're, again, one of those people who thinks that it is, God bless your soul, because you're not really living life. You're living in a bubble.